News updates. Nnamdi Kanu, Sunday Igboho, they have no business agitating for succession. A Yoruba leader says. You can imagine. Going back to 1963 Constitution will restructure Nigeria. Our problem is bad governance. Open grazing not attainable in 21st century by Chioma Gabriel, the Special Features Editor. Alhaji Lateef Femi Okunu began his career in 1960 as a lawyer and also was appointed Federal Commissioner for Works and Housing in 1967. He served in this capacity for 7 years, a tenure that ended in 1974. He was leader of the federal government delegation to the Organization of African Unity, OAU, the Consultative Committee on Nigerian Peace Talks is to end the Civil War in 1968, and also in 1969 it led the Nigerian delegation to the OAU Ministerial Conference. In 1980, he was member of the Nigerian delegation to the General Assembly of the UNO. Okunu was later appointed Deputy Legal Advisor to the National Party of Nigeria (NPA) in 1981 and Pro-Chancellor of the University of Agriculture, Makurdi in 1982. In this encounter, Alhaji Okunu stressed the current situation in the country, taking a swipe at both the leaders and the lead for the tension in the country. Let's start with Lagos. There was apathy at the local government election of Saturday. Many people did not even go out to vote, and also where they did, it's mostly the elderly people. Why not this? So I think public events needed to be that way because of COVID-19 pandemic, which has engulfed the world. The rules are clear. We should not gather as crowd. The third wave of COVID-19 is here, and this will affect every elections, be it local governments, states, or even the forthcoming election, unless the virus disappears very soon before then. This is something we should take very seriously, but unfortunately, the government has not tackled it the way it should. So the government has not really tackled the propaganda the way it should be. So the people are not helping matters as well. So go to gatherings, funeral gatherings, religious gatherings, political gatherings, crowd, and so on and so forth. You see crowd everywhere, and they say they should maintain distance. They should maintain distancing. You can imagine that. So the vaccine ought to go all over Nigeria, and we are begging for vaccine. Can you imagine that? So I think COVID-19 should be taken more seriously. The young people are a different entity altogether. So if I would talk about them, It will be a 2-hour interview. So, on youth, what is your take on the activities of young or youth like Nnamdi Kanu and Igboho who are agitating for succession of the Igbo and Yoruba? That is a large issue, but my question is, who gave them the mandate for self-determination? Who gave Sunday Igboho the mandate for Yoruba independence? Who gave Kanu the mandate for Yoruba nation? So who gave them the mandate that the Igbo should break away from Nigeria, or that the Yoruba should also break away? Who told them that there was a Yoruba kingdom or an Igbo kingdom? Where is it in history? People should also misread or even misinterpret. So as I've said before, the problem Nigerian is having now is bad governance. Like I said about vaccines, if we are still begging for vaccines instead of buying and making sure that it goes round, so they won't allow, they would, I don't know where they put it, they keep it for themselves and start selling it to others. And this vaccine is being given to them free of charge for it to go round, and those that are having this virus should also be cured. But this bad governance will not allow that. That's one of the things that we're facing in this country. Yes, that's what we're facing in this country. Imagine, vaccine is sent to us and we still keep begging for vaccine instead of buying and making sure it goes round, but it won't. So I'm sure I'm saying the same thing about bad governance. Bad governance has been the problem with Nigeria, and of course it has been. So on the maintenance of herdsmen, kidnapping and bandits, they are invading communities and sacking them as well. So it is not enough reason to say or to say that no, that we can't associate with these people anymore. They are all human beings, you can associate with them. No, there are answers to some of these issues for people. Or for example, the herdsmen, the Fulani herdsmen, they have been there for 50 or 60 years before independence. So the herdsmen, to my mind, belong to the ages. You can look at this. There should be no herdsmen today. Even this Saduna of Sokoto, when he was the premier of northern Nigeria, established ranches in the north in Borno. He established a meat processing company. So what we have now is herdsmen anachronism. So it should move forward today. People should not be moving on foot, grazing and selling animals, especially now that they invade farms and people's private property. So it is wrong and against the law for your herds to come into my land to eat my grass and my crops. You can imagine threatening people as well, threatening people of their lives, and even killing or kidnapping them for no just reason. So that is against the law, and it is it's against the law. It's very much against the law, and it is an anachronism which should not be practiced in this age. So the government is doing something. The government is building railways which should have been done years ago.